Hi, and welcome to Speakers on Edge. We're doing 15 minutes of fame where we have voices of vision, sharing messages that matter. And my guest today is Ro. Ro, who are you?
When people ask me that, I can give the very standard answer. I am a personal branding specialist for women in their second careers, and I help them connect their past experience to their present goals. It's through something that I call the wisdom bridge. But I didn't start there. That's not who I am today. Who I am goes all the way back through my past. Because before I ever worked in marketing or in strategy, I was a wife, a mother, a daughter, and a woman who has reinvented herself more times than I ever expected to. To go back to my beginnings, my first love was acting. I spent about 10 years on the Chicago stages, performing for thousands of people, doing drama, comedy, musicals, the whole gambit. And that's where I felt most alive. I found connecting with people through language, through storytelling, through emotion. It was so immediate and so strong. And I thought that I was going to stay there forever. And then life handed me a plot twist. My youngest child, my son, was diagnosed with celiac disease. And back at that time, right now gluten-free is everywhere. Everybody knows the words gluten-free. Back then, no one did. And it was right before his third birthday. And I couldn't buy him a birthday cake. And I realized that if I was struggling with this, then that meant there were other families out there who were feeling just as helpless. And so I did something that I never thought I would do. I left the stage, and with no business background, no experience, no game plan, no business plan, I opened a gluten and dairy-free bakery. I had to teach myself how to bake gluten-free, how to decorate cakes, cookies, everything, how to do packaging, marketing, advertising, labeling. I didn't have any experience, but I had a lot of love and had a lot of grit. And that grit really, really saw me through. And the one thing I really brought to those people was a sense of belonging back at the table.
Yeah. As somebody who is also gluten-free, what is your favorite gluten-free product?
They're my own. They're all my own.
Yes. So what was the gluten-free? What's your gluten-free masterpiece?
My bread.
So I can salivate.
My bread.
Oh.
My bread. My bread is fantastic. My chocolate chip cookies. Chocolate chip cookies are to die for. To this day, my son won't buy anything from anybody else. If he wants something, he just calls. Mom, this is what I need. This is what I need. Yes. So have you been gluten-free for long?
For over 20 years.
Oh, wow. Yep.
Yeah.
So you've been doing it almost as long as I have.
Yeah. And it was back then, there was some stuff coming from Germany to Australia where I was living. But I remember finding a market stall where the guy made his own flours, his own bread mixes, and he came up with a bread mix, a gluten-free bread mix. And it was divine. It was absolutely, because I grew up, my dad was a baker, so I grew up with fresh bread.
Oh, wow.
And it was really bad for me, but it was such my love language. It was bread and butter and just...
I do. My perfect birthday cake is a loaf of bread with a candle on it.
Yeah, that works.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah, that works. Oh, but yeah, so I think I'm hungry.
I'm sorry. I didn't mean to make you so hungry.
So here you are, a bakery owner with grit.
With grit.
And what happened?
The recession of 2008, it closed me down. And mm, excuse me, for the first time in my life, I didn't have a direction and I didn't know what I wanted to do. And I bounced around a little bit. I wrote a book on living with celiac disease. I ran a health club, a fitness club. I I did retail. I was trying things on, trying to find myself again. And the whole time that I was doing all of that, I was also my mother's caretaker. My mother fought a 28-year battle with cancer. And in 2017, she lost the battle. And that was the darkest chapter of my life. And it felt like the ground just fell out from under me. And I needed something, something that would have meaning again, something that was steady and something that would be healing. And I basically stumbled into teaching. I went back to school and I started working in early childhood education. And those years changed me more than anything else. I mean, I found myself in a preschool classroom surrounded by 4-year-olds who reminded me every day that growth is messy, that learning takes patience and curiosity will change everything. Those kids taught me more about resilience than any motivational book ever possibly could. You know, kids will uh, fall down and cry and get back up and don't make it about defining their own worth. But you see, we do that as adults, and particularly women do. I know men do this too. I tend to work more with women, so I talk about women. But if you're a man out there listening, yes, this is about you too. You know, as adults, we turn every pivot, every pause, every uncertain chapter into proof that we have somehow failed. That is the quiet part of reinvention that no one likes to talk about. It's the messy part, the emotional weight. There's the grief that comes with losing your identity. There is the doubt that whispers in your ear. Do you really know how to do this? Are you too old to do this? Are you good enough at this? There's actual shame and embarrassment. So many women in particular will start something new and not even tell anyone because they're afraid that if it fails, they'll be embarrassed when other people find out. And I have lived that, and I have cried through that, and then I've rebuilt through that. To be a little bit vulnerable, even though I now wake up with purpose and with passion, it wasn't that long ago that it was not always like this. I mean, in 30 years, I have worn so many hats. And from the outside, it looked like I was really good at reinventing myself. But from the inside, it didn't always feel that way. When I leapt into my digital marketing career, I really thought I had found a home. But inside, I was feeling like an imposter, like an uninspired phony for a while. And it sort of came to a head this one evening. I was doom scrolling on my phone. I was self-medicating with ice cream, Rocky Road to be specific. And the voices in my head were so loud. You know, what was I thinking? I'm just too old for this. It felt like all of my pivots were not proof of resilience. They were just proof that I had used up all my chances. And then this picture came into my head. I have 3 children, 2 boys and a girl, and they are wonderful and they are supportive, but I could just see them sitting together and talking. And they were saying, well, what did mom think was going to happen? And that just cut deeper than anything that I was saying to myself. And I realized that I wasn't just about to give up on a business. I was actually about to give up on the woman that I knew that I could become, the person that I could grow into. And that night, I stopped scrolling mindlessly and I started paying attention. And what I noticed was women who looked a lot like me, women who were women who were smart, women who were multi-passionate, women who were teaching something that they knew from experience. And it hit me that I have something very unique to share as well. And so I made the very scary decision to invest in myself. And I focused on helping second career women, women who are like me, women to help them find the confidence in what they already know. One of my first clients said to me, I have learned more with you in 45 minutes than I did 3 years on my own. And that moment when she said that, it came to realize that all of my pivots, they weren't detours. They were preparation. And that is the heart of the Wisdom Bridge, my system. We carry everything that we have lived, learned, and survived across the bridge to what's next. When women begin to see their past as proof instead of just baggage, then everything changes. They speak differently. They stand differently. They finally trust themselves again. I mean, I speak to women who are in their 40s, 50s, 60s, even 70s. And forgive me, they're no longer who they were, but they're not sure yet of who they are becoming. And I help them see that their past isn't something to escape or to ignore. It is actually the foundation for their next chapter. Reinvention is never about starting over. It is about carrying everything that you have lived, learned, and survived across the bridge and realizing that all of that was preparing you for this. Looking back on every chapter in my life, the acting, the baking, the teaching, the caregiving, they all felt very disconnected at the time, but each one was actually preparing me to do exactly what it is that I do now. Because reinvention isn't about becoming someone new. It's about bringing all of yourself forward. So when I work with women and they say, I'm starting over, I say, no, you're not starting over. You are just finally starting with your experience. And that is the Wisdom Bridge. And that is who I am, and that is what I do.
I love that. You are starting over. Yeah, that's...
You can't. You can't start from scratch.
No, because we're not back at square one. No matter what we are, we have all this experience. We have all these adventures, these stories, these situations.
And they all matter. And when you're trying to set up your personal brand and you're marketing yourself, you're looking for a gap in the market. You're always looking to whatever your new profession is, whatever you've gone into, you will find that you are in a lot of company, hundreds, if not thousands of people doing exactly the same thing that you are. So how do you differentiate yourself? And it's from your past, because no one else's past has given them the exact set of skills that you have, the exact set of experiences that you have. No one else has done what I do in the same way that I have. No one's gone through things in the order or just had those experiences that I've had. And that's what makes me uniquely qualified to talk to people about reinvention. And that's what makes the people that I work with uniquely qualified to be exactly who their clients need.
This is why I love doing the show, because your message here is that my past is my power.
My past is my power. That is my mantra. When I'm speaking in front of groups of women, I make them say it repeatedly. My past
is my power. And we look at our past as my legacy, as my baggage.
Yeah.
Let's face it, how many of us have been told, oh, just let go of your past?
Yep. But it doesn't
I
work.
say love your past. Be proud of your past, the good, the bad, and the ugly parts.
And what have you learned from it? What did it teach you? What did it give? What did it gift you? They're not always easy gifts to receive. They're not always fun. But if you can look back, or even when you're in the moment, if you can say to yourself, what am I learning right now? As a lifelong learner, that is always my focus. What am I learning? What have I gained? And what do I want to let go? What doesn't serve me anymore? And by figuring that out, and this is not easy to do by yourself. There's no fix it button. There's no just push this button and it's all fine. It takes time, and it takes somebody who will hold that space for you until you can inhabit it yourself. That is what I do.
And that is such a blessing on this planet. Thank you for doing this. Thank you for helping us understand that reinventing ourselves isn't starting from nothing.
Never.
No matter what's in our bank account, no matter what's in our home, no matter our marital status, no matter whatever has happened, we're never starting from nothing.
Never.
Because we always have what's in here.
Yeah. I talk to so many women, and sometimes they will I'll say, well, tell me about you. And I'll take notes, of course, as they're talking. And then I will read back to them what they've said. And suddenly they can hear it. Suddenly they hear it. And suddenly they realize all that they are and all that they know and all that they can now stand on. It's beautiful. It's a beautiful, beautiful thing.
Thank you for helping so many people. How can people get hold of you? Where can they find you?
Find me on Facebook. That is the best way. Message me. I answer all of my own messages. You will find all of my help, my advice, everything is there. I have a free gift that I love to share with people about designing your own Facebook posts, your own social media skills, or your ads, whatever, to make things easier and to look way more professional. You can find that on my Facebook page as well.
Lovely. And we'll also have your photo and a button linking to that as well on our speakersonedge.com website under the 15 Minutes of Fame guest page. So that's it for today. Our voice of vision was Ro. Her message that matters: your past is your power. And my past is my power. And this episode is now past. We'll see you next time, folks. Thanks, Ro. Bye, everyone.